Hello all, so I'm back here on my channel. I haven't made a video in a while, but I'm going to try and get back into it. So today's video is going to be books I'd like to read in January. I tend to not like to make very structured schedules for my reading because I like to go off of what I'm feeling like I would enjoy instead of just making it into something which is just a ritual or a pattern, because I feel as though that takes away from the enjoyment, the utility that I get from reading. But these are some books which I feel as though would be really nice to read this month, and just adding a bit of structure into my reading life. I think I should be able to read more. I am really though trying to focus on my schoolwork and doing that well, which is why a lot of the books that you see here today are going to be quite short and not that heavy of reads. So what are we starting off with? So the thing that I'm reading right now, and which I plan to finish and get on to the next book in this very lovely book, is Ivan Turgenev's First Love Unwritten. I have this in this absolutely beautiful vintage edition by this publishing company called Hamish Hamilton. It's quite an old edition, this one. I think this was published in, well, it was first published in 1950. I believe, but yeah, so it's quite an old edition, and as we can see, even the hardback itself is covered in this absolutely beautiful pattern and design. It's quite a small edition. The pages are still kept intact very well, even though it seems that they have been, oh no, they have been sewn in, which is why the pages are keeping in so well after all these years. I'm currently reading First Love and enjoying it thoroughly so far. I love my Russian love stories. I could read them all day, every day. So very much so enjoying that. Planning on finishing it this month, definitely. I'm planning on getting into Ridden too, because I think Turgenev is an author in which I've enjoyed a decent amount of his work so far, and I plan to continue working through all of his works. If anyone has read any of his other masterpieces, please let me know in the comments. We can have a discussion, or we can talk about certain aspects of his books that you really like, and maybe even recommend some which other books which pertain similar qualities. So next we have another incredibly short book. It's 70 pages, so I should be able to finish this in a sitting, and it's Daisy Miller by Henry James. Yeah, I really wasn't lying when I said I wanted to read short books this month. This I picked up when I went to a place called Rye here in England, because it was the home of Henry James for a short while, and I like to pick up books in the places in which I go to where the authors lived, because I feel as though it's quite nice to be able to have a type of connection with an author staying or visiting somewhere where they live. It's almost as though you can see some of their inspiration for having visited the places in which they live. It's a nice experience, something which it's a habit that I've formed over the years. But yes, I don't actually know a lot about this. I've been wanting to go into it just blind, but once again, Henry James, quite a well-known author. Daisy Miller is not his most well-known piece, so but the blurb sounded interesting to me, and it looked like quite a fun read. So yes, Daisy Miller, Henry James. Next we have this absolutely beautiful edition of The Pearl by John Steinbeck, and this is in the Penguin Clothbound Classics edition. I've made a video before on my opinions of the different editions that classics come in. So far I've had no trouble with this, although it has just been sitting on my bookshelf. But this edition has some illustrations, it seems, or just that one. Oh no, yeah, there are more. So this is an illustrated edition, which is quite interesting. Steinbeck is obviously probably like one of the most well-known authors in terms of modern classics. Is Of Mice and Men, everyone has read. It's one that I've thoroughly enjoyed. I've also heard a lot of great things about East of Eden, which is something which I'm definitely looking into picking up soon. But yes, The Pearl looks like a nice short read just to be able to pick up and get into, although I don't hear that much discourse on it. It seems that people feel like this book is very mediocre, or they love it. There doesn't seem to be much of an in-between. And so I'm interested to see what opinions I form on this. But yes, The Pearl by John Steinbeck. Once again, if anyone has read any of these books, please feel free to leave comments of the video and we can talk about them. Next, and probably one which I'm most excited for this month, and this is Marcus Aurelius Meditations. So this is in the absolutely beautiful Folio Society edition. I've had this for a while, and I never actually got around to reading it until I decided that this month is going to be the month where I read Marcus Aurelius. It's happening. So once again, absolutely stunning edition. The top end pages are brown, the rest are just the colour, the regular colour of paper and beige colour. The book itself is just, it's a work of art. Aside for the words written, the book itself is just beautiful, and it's the least that you'd expect of any Folio Society editions. They tend to be more expensive, but they're an investment. Yes, absolutely gorgeous, and some nice philosophy to get me thinking, and yes, philosophy is something which I've been increasingly interested in. I think it's something which it tends to be quite intimidating trying to get into, because if you want to read Sartre, then you have to have read all these previous philosophers, because philosophy tends to build upon each other, and so people sometimes find it hard to know where to even start with philosophy. Once I do read more, I'd love to make a video discussing the ideal places in which I'd recommend starting, but I feel like Marcus Aurelius is someone which I should have read just as a basis, as someone who is a very, very important figure in classical literature. And so yes, so for this month, these are the technically 5 books, if you consider 2 being in here, that I'd like to read. I appreciate this is an incredibly small pile. However, once again, trying to find that work-life balance is quite difficult, and trying to make reading something in which is not a chore and something which I once again simply enjoy is something which I'm mindful of. So yes, I'll talk to you guys soon and give any updates of reviews of any books that I read this month or in the upcoming year. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.